Hey you, welcome back to the channel. And guys, today we want to go into comments and questions corner for the week. This is volume 3. This is my chance to thank the community for all their great questions, comments, and concerns, and give my opinions and participate with you all, and try to see if I can learn something, as well as maybe shed some of the light I might have on a subject or topic. So guys, I want to start off with reading some of the first comments and questions I get. We've had a lot of things going on this week with Electroneum, with the market in general, still in a bear market. There was a Richard L's question segment done by the All About Tech channel, great channel, in an interview with Richard L's. Many of our questions are being answered, many of our concerns, and that's great. That's a good thing. It's being split up in parts, so we're getting the information in bits and pieces. But I have got up to volume 3, or I'm sorry, rather episode 3. I'm not sure how many episodes there will be, but I did finish the 3rd one today, and it was quite informative. And I think that's going to help me a lot with maybe commenting on some of you all's questions and concerns. And if you haven't watched up to that level yet, I greatly advise that you do that. Recommend it highly. It is a good video series, and there are concerns being addressed in this series, as far as I can see and tell, as I'm getting the information and I'm taking it in. So all good stuff, guys, all good stuff. So I want to first start with some of the first comments and questions I'm getting this week from you all, and this comes from Edric Pedro. And I thank you, Eric, for your comments and questions. Thank you for watching the channel. And it reads, I was going to say, this was one of your best videos. I was with you all the way up until you made the little remark about Electroneum's marketing sucks. Because you, of all people, should be up on game about what Richard L's has been stating about why they haven't started the marketing yet, and will not begin mass marketing until they have all systems live up and running. Why would they want to advertise and market something that is only halfway complete and ready to use? Think about what you're saying. Well, Eric, I do thank you for saying this may have been one of my best videos. And at the end where I say the Electroneum marketing sucks, perhaps you're right. I actually hope I'm wrong that their marketing sucks. And I want to talk a little bit about why I made that comment in the end. Sorry if you thought I did everything right, and then at the end I kind of messed it up. But let's talk a little bit about your comment here. So let's think about what marketing is all about and what it deals with. You state that it's best to have your systems live, up and running, meaning that have all your products complete, then start the marketing. But is that the best way to approach marketing? When we see marketing of products and services, do people wait all the way until their product or service is ready to go? Or do they let you know what's coming, that something big is coming, so you can be prepared for it, and they can be simultaneously building a market for it? If we think about a motion picture that's being produced, what do they usually do? Don't they years ahead of time tell us, like, okay, this movie's coming out. We haven't even started filming it yet, but it will start coming out. We haven't even chosen the best actors for the roles yet, but we're going to do this movie. And they already start building up this thing. And before the movie's released, they've sold millions in tickets in advance. Would you say that's bad marketing or good marketing that they do that? Or would you say it would be much better if they just waited to just surprise everybody and say, hey, this movie is out, come see it tomorrow or come see it tonight? what would be why do these marketing teams do that if that's the best way to handle marketing? I have some partners who work in real estate. And before they even go out and build a building, or before they even think about doing it, really, they go out and they get market sentiment about what they're going to do. And once they have a lot of people who are going, oh yeah, if you did that, if you built this complex or what have you, I would rent it or I would buy it. And in some cases, these people are paying for these projects ahead of time, before they even started, much like what we get or what we got in the ICO markets, right? That's some coins haven't even built anything and they've raised billions of dollars. And we know several incidents of that. Now, it may be a matter of opinion if that's a good or bad thing. Some people might say, oh, that's a bad thing. But I can tell you many marketing teams have successfully pulled that off without finished products. Now, I mean, it's debatable, and it may even depend on a case-by-case basis exactly what you're doing and what your product is or service. But I think in a situation like this, where communication, because this is the crypto space, we deal still in quite a bit of limited information, when it comes to our investments, right? We're not inspecting any books. We're not, it's how the money's being spent. A lot different from how you make investments and throughout traditional investing. So because of that lack of information we have, there is a great need for communication in many aspects of what's going on. Now, to continue on a little bit like that, I was very privileged and glad to see this last episode of the interview with Mr. Richard Ells, which I thought was great. A lot of questions for me got answered what I really wanted to hear. And one very important thing that came out of that I was listening to, because I listen very intensely to these interviews. I want to know what's going on and where the direction of Electroneum is going. And one very important thing that came out that really helped for me to shine a light on why I may have been seeing the marketing team as not performing maybe at the level I want them to. It has to do a lot with KYC, okay? And for those of you who don't know what KYC is, that stands for Know Your Customer. And it's part of a lot of regulations that are going all the way around the world. Probably in some places, I live in the United States, but in some places other than the United States, KYC rules are even worse than in the United States. So a lot of partnerships that Electroneum have been scheduled to put together and perform. Some of them are getting snagged a bit due to the KYC rules, and I didn't know that. Obviously, I couldn't comment on that because I wasn't pertinent to that information until today. So, in knowing that lets me know I'm being informed at that point that that maybe that's why the rollouts have to wait too. Maybe there has to be some certain procedures done to help get that resolved with the regulation, as Mr. Richard Ells stated. And that helps me a lot in coming up with my thought process and comments, because if I know this information, then I know how to understand, okay, well, this is why the marketing team is doing this, that, and the other. But I can only do that if the information is available to me. If the information is not available to me, anything could be happening, right? I can't just blindly say, well, they're in the back room and they're working and making all this stuff and creating all these deals. I can only go upon what they say, correct? So I don't know really what's going on until they inform us and let us know. And at that point, I can clearly and in a definite way say, okay, this is what's going on with the marketing and this is what they're doing. being quiet and silent in a back room, I mean, that doesn't tell me much. Like, I can assume this, that, or the other and still be correct about it, right? As I don't have the information either way. So, Eric, I do thank you for your comment, and sorry that I kind of, at the end, kind of messed it up for you. But I just want everybody to be as informed. I think the more we're honest about this and the more we deal with the problem, the greater Electroneum is going to be, because Electroneum is a great product. It doesn't need very much else done to it. The plan is out there. The only thing is what's keeping the plan from being executed. That's what we need to know. But in conclusion, no, I don't agree that marketing should be held off until a product is complete. I fundamentally disagree with that. I see no point at all in holding off marketing until the product's complete. So let's move on to the next comment with you guys. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can, and I'm probably going to spend a little bit more time on ones that maybe address many's concerns. But Pinball Rockstar, thank you, Pinball, for being a channel watcher and commenting on the channel. Very much appreciated. I consider it an honor and privilege to have all you guys here and watching. So 12:15. I'm sorry, I forgot what I said at 12:15, but it's like they have their $40 million from ICO, and now they are in a comfortable seat. But I am not in a comfortable seat. I am down 84% of 100,000 euros. So that's 84,000 euros they're down. Does it seem like can it appear that they're in a comfortable seat and they don't care about investors? Yes, it can appear that way. Does it mean that it's that way? No, it doesn't mean it's that way at all. A lot of things get lost in translation. How you communicate with people and how you deal with your investors, how you deal with your community, is very important to how people view you, right? And so my concern was comments just like this, where it can seem like that. It can seem like people don't care. I think what's also can be a little bit troublesome in the cryptocurrency space is that when projects create these ICOs and projects, the market itself, they have zero control of what happens in the market, right? Now, even though that's true, that they have zero control of what happens to the market, think about it in this way. Just like I said, I'm from the United States. And so this may not apply to every land and every government. But in the United States, our president, President Donald Trump, he can't really create jobs, can he, in the jobs market? He has no control really over, like, he can't go out and really make an edict or a policy that's going to guarantee American people a job. He can't do that. But he can put into place certain conditions, certain moves. He can stress certain things. And he can use certain legislation to indirectly and directly affect the jobs market, right? So although he can't directly create jobs, he can affect it in some sense. And so what I'm saying is, although the Electroneum team, when you're having problems in the market like this, where you've had to watch 84% decline on the price of your investment, whereas it's true, these entities are completely out of the market, don't have control. There is certain things they do that change the value of the market. And that could be something as simple as putting out good news, speaking at the right time, saying the right thing at the right time, rallying the troops at the right time, addressing certain concerns at the right time. And surprisingly enough, just news alone can be dramatic, create a dramatic change. Pinball Rockstar also goes on to state about minute 8:20 is straight to the point, bro. Well, thank you, Pinball Rockstar. And I do remember what I said. For some reason, I do remember what I said at minute 8:20. And it had to do with, why does the cryptocurrency market, why are they seemingly hoping to get investors in when they can make plans just like Electroneum's doing, which makes Electroneum, to me, the greatest amongst them. It's important that you all understand that I am pro Electroneum, that I only make these videos and try to give a full informative view to help, to be of some help or service to the community. It's not to create FUD or to to speak negatively of Electroneum. But I also have found this, though, in the Electroneum community, sometimes we can be so pro Electroneum, it can be kind of like tiptoeing through a field of lilies, right? Which is why it's so devastating to many people when the value of their stake is down, because they're kind of in a fantasy world and they're so in love with Electroneum, and that can be painful if you're not prepared for a realistic approach to how human psychology works and how the market works, right? So in that regard, Electroneum's so great because they're going out to get $3 trillion, right? They're not going, well, we're in a bear market and nobody will invest because of this or that. They're being proactive and making agreements and plans. That's what all the crypto space should be doing. It shouldn't be just waiting and hoping. Now, what makes Electroneum a lot easier for Electroneum to do that is Electroneum is a lot less decentralized, right, than like Bitcoin or the other crypto, many other cryptocurrencies. So it becomes much harder for them to do that. So I think that's also why I stress a lot this kind of balance of a more centralized feel to be more proactive and getting more money into cryptocurrency. And sometimes you need a type of hybrid situation for it to work right. So thank you again, Pinball Rockstar, for a good comment there, bringing that up, because I don't think that gets stressed enough about that $3 trillion market and trying to get people, and trying to get the money into crypto, right? So next, Mr. James Atana, I hope I'm saying his name right. Thank you for being a channel watcher. And I'm going to read your comment here in just a moment. I just want to take a swig of water. Mouth is a little bit dry. 1 second. So Mr. James Atana commented, they should do a coin burn. Secondly, just like you said, they should handle the price issue. There are many coins that have a higher supply that have been doing well price-wise. Many of their, hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can finish off his comment on my tablet here. I don't want to get off this page. Let me finish his comment from another page here. Sorry about that. Okay. Many of their discussions, they never seem to say anything about their initial investors. So this comment sounds a little bit just like the one we just read, where it's a type of, it seems like it's a lack of empathy thing, doesn't it? After the ICO, when the money was raised, that some people feel like they're being neglected now that, like the last commenter said, he's lost 84% of his investment. And it just seems like nobody's, doesn't seem like anybody cares, right? But I don't think that's the case with Electroneum. I think with Electroneum, I think that they have divided raising the money and the project into two separate things, right? As to say, okay, you give us the money, we're going to do this project. We're going to do the project just like we say we're going to do it. And they are doing that. They are doing that. But the elements of where it comes to relaying this, communicating this to the public, exactly how they're doing it and at what point they're at, and with the bear market and all these factors involved, it can seem like they don't care. Now, as far as a coin burn, I don't know. Like, Electroneum has 21 billion coins, right? Bitcoin has 21 million. I've always had, me personally, I've always had a problem with a lot of tokens and coins. Anything over 100 million coins, I start to get kind of concerned, about that. Like, I don't know if we need all those coins to raise money. We factored into decimals. You can raise the price of them at ICO. It doesn't have to be like 1 cent and different things. It could be $1, So, but then I also understand that the more coins you have, the more distribution is possible. But then you also have how it's divisible into decimals, and so in that, I personally have never been a big fan of having a lot of tokens. So, but I would have to really study the Electroneum model more to have a very full idea of what should be burned or what shouldn't. So this comes from MKid. And I think I've spoken with MKid in the Discord Electroneum channel. And he loves cheap prices of Electroneum. But anyway, he says, love the video, keep up the great work, and time to keep buying the dip. Cheap, and he has, I believe that's referring to the gluteus maximus price, and as the price dumps, just means more coins for a less. And he has dollar signs in in place of the letters, letting us know, hey, we're missing out on the money. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't make that mistake. And I agree with MKid. I 100% agree with MKid, because we can look at this from several perspectives. Even if you're one of the people who've lost 80-90% of your investment, and it's hard to watch money. I don't care how people try to reason with you about the market's going to come back up, just hold on. There is nothing worse, guys, and believe you me, I've been there. I bought a lot of Electroneum. I was very fortunate at just under a penny. So for me, it's a cakewalk, pretty much. I can sit it out. I can, it can go to much lower prices, and it's going to be a while before I'm even down 50%. But it's hard. It's hard to watch that. I've been in situations where it's just devastating, and you just want to let the nightmare and the pain go away. You want to get out of that. You don't know who to trust or believe anymore, right? But MKid here, he's loving it. He's buying. He's probably dollar cost averaging, and that's another thing where you can look at it, guys. If you're down 50% or 60 or 70%, that means Electroneum is super duper cheap, right? Now you can buy 3-4 times the amount you were able to buy prior. So even if it goes a portion of the way back up, or very close to where it was, you're able to buy all these additional tokens. Now you're up 75, 80%, maybe 100% after the bear market, right? So you can look at it that way. Will require some patience, a little more patience in Electroneum, but this can very easily turn around for a lot of you guys. So, there you go with that. And thanks, MKid, for the comment. Chaz Scott, hi Chaz, and thank you for watching our channel. He says, enjoyed your video. I'm not entirely sure, but we may be missing the point of the marketing team. Yes, I want the marketing team to give news all the time, but I'm not sure if we should be I think he's saying focus right there. Let me look on my tablet. I just don't want to get out that screen, because then I got to go through all those other screens. Let's see if I can find him. Chaz Scott. On my tablet here, seems like the comments came in out of order too. But I know he was saying about it looks like he was saying about us not focusing on the YouTubers. I remember it now. He was saying like YouTubers not focusing on the being the focus of the marketing and the commentary. And geez, I'm trying to find where he listed that because I wanted to read him correctly on that. And for some reason, he's not coming up. But yeah, I remember reading his comment as I scanned over earlier. And he was saying that about us YouTubers being the focal point of the marketing or something to that effect. And, and if it should be that way or something like that, if I understood it right. But I also remember that in reading, I didn't quite get 100% what he was saying. What his conclusion was on that. But I don't think YouTubers are the problem. In fact, I would say the opposite. I would say the YouTubers have been fueling a lot of the information and putting forth a lot of, and they are very important to marketing. I think that in some cases, maybe the YouTubers need to be brought more into the fold of the Electroneum marketing team, because for me, everything I know about Electroneum came from the YouTubers. So I believe, I'm sorry, Chaz, if I didn't cover your question or comment properly. But I did remember reading it earlier, and it was saying that. Okay, so now Desert Axe commented, and thanks Desert Axe, Electroneum would be the same as ITNS and Tensecoin. Do not pay even a penny. Okay, so he's another one of these people saying just wait to hold to buy low. I don't know if that's the worst advice, but the only thing I can tell you is in a situation like that, we don't really know when this Electroneum can turn around. I don't think Electroneum's every token's not attached to the bear market. Do you know what I mean? Like every token won't stay down just because we're in a bear market. So I don't really know, and maybe Electroneum's already at the bottom, so I don't really have much input on that. DEFCON commented, thank you DEFCON for watching. 100% agree, marketing is the point, and Electroneum can't deal with it in the right way. Yeah, we've touched on marketing a little bit, and if you really break it down, everybody can do everything a little bit better. But specifically in the cryptocurrency space, and I should have been clarified a little bit more so it just didn't seem like I was picking on Electroneum or putting Electroneum in any kind of negative light. But really, in my view, marketing in the entire cryptocurrency space is horrible. It's only 200... not even $300 billion in the cryptocurrency market at this stage. And, my problem, especially with the market condition, I think that during the third interview video here from the All About Tech channel, Mr. Richard Ells, he stated that that's another thing I like about the video. Marketing does come up quite a lot. I think most of it was about marketing, and I was excited about that episode because I thought it was addressing the most important things. And Mr. Richard L. said that he's more interested in the viral marketing, right, that's going out, or that's where Electroneum's achieved much of their success, that he hasn't really pushed the button on paying for marketing, and that many tokens who do pay for marketing is to get speculators in and get these speculators investing in and it becomes kind of like just a pump up of the token. Now, I'm going to have to say I disagree with what Mr. Richard L. said on that marketing. A lot of people are just, or let me phrase it this way, that's bad marketing. He disagreed with that kind of marketing. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with that, even though some people might disagree with me and may disagree more or less on that with Mr. Richard Ells. Because speculators are very important to the liquidity of a market, right? In no market can you ever demonize a speculator. Why can't you ever demonize a speculator? Because speculators make the market liquid. We only have $200 billion in our markets. That tells me we don't have enough speculators, right? Speculators bring liquidity to the market, right? They look for opportunity, and in this symbiotic relationship, they help us out, right? They don't always quite fully understand the products, nor do they care. They just want to bring a liquidity to the market. Now, I know a lot of us view that as a negative thing, but if you don't have a liquid market, I think many of us are going to quickly agree that that's not a good market, right? So we need speculators. We shouldn't be demonizing speculators. Now, should we just be marketing just to get pumps in a token or a price? No, of course not. But don't we all agree that Electroneum is already a great product? So and not only that, but don't we agree that Electroneum is severely undervalued, right? So if you're severely undervalued, I don't know if you can really pump up your token in marketing. But but we need, however we view this, speculators never will 100% be negative to a market. They're always going to be needing them to a market, whether they understand how the market works or not. Okay, here's one of our regular commenters, Dose Music. And he commented, agreed. Would like to see better marketing from Electroneum for general social media rather than relying on YouTubers. Also, would like to hear Richard's thoughts on price too. I think this kind of goes to the last comment we got with how some people had a problem with marketing and that it should be social media. Yeah, you can buy, I think Facebook has stopped the ban on crypto advertising now. So you can use Facebook in various means. But, YouTubers rely, we shouldn't be relying, they shouldn't rely on YouTubers, but I will be honest and say it does seem like that's what's happening, doesn't it? Like I said, I would have known nothing about Electroneum if it wasn't for crypto for the people. Yes, I am a watcher of his channel, great channel, and I have him to thank for even knowing about Electroneum. I stumbled on that by accident a few months ago, right? So yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, I don't think it could ever be anything as much as too much marketing. That's just my opinion. But, we have our different opinions about technology over marketing. And that comes up in episode 3 of the Richard Ailes interview with the All About Tech channel. You guys really should go watch that and pay careful attention to it. If you haven't watched it, it's great content. And listen specifically about marketing details as they do discuss that. Mr. John Thompson commented, thank you, John. I've seen you comment a few times on the videos. Glad to have you as a watcher. We really have no idea what Electroneum's up to and deals they have going on. True, Mr. John Thompson. But we probably need them to explain it to us, right? Do you think it'd be a great idea if they tell us about it? Or maybe they're waiting on the finished product, like some people suggest they should be doing. Look, and I just want to say that about this too. I'm not an expert marketer. I'm not a marketing guru. And so when I talk about more marketing, right, and the proper kind of marketing, I could be wrong with how Electroneum is going about this. You guys could be right, 100% right. That they got all their eggs in the basket and they got it all going great. The last interview did give a lot of insight to me with the KYC regulations. That was very eye-opening for me because it let me know what some of the holdups could possibly be, right? So that was very informative to me. But to say that I know exactly what type of marketing they should be doing and when it should be done and how it should be done, this is just my opinion, guys. This is just my opinion for what I know about marketing, what I've seen done with marketing. But I will tell you this, and we can all think about this. A lot of cryptocurrencies have pushed projects off and done things when projects are going to be complete or talked about them and it has been a negative thing to them, right? To their detriment. And what I mean by that is because the cryptocurrency space kind of moves in dog years, right? I mean, it's moving, guys. 2 or 3 months in the crypto space is like a year, and all types of things could happen, right? Competition, copycats, anything could happen in that time frame. And then it's kind of a battle against, or a great distraction at least, all between your entity and someone else's. And some things come down to this too as well, guys, how quick you roll out the gate. I hate to say it like that, but some projects have totally destroyed other projects just because they rolled out the gate quick enough to get a pretty good jump start on the others, right? And we're creatures of habit, right? Once we get stuck on something, comfortable with something, we don't always want to just jump over to somebody else just because they say they do it better or they do things more efficient. There's been many cases in technology where that's happened. People stay with where they're comfortable with, even though certain platforms have offered a great deal more technology. So just, something to comment on. Shadi Dindan, I hope I said your name right. Cool name. Passion is sweet. Yeah, passion is sweet. Passion keeps you going, and it gets things going. It keeps you motivated, and it keeps you investing. Mr. Sergio Tejada, thank you for watching the channel. I hope I said your name right. Love this content. Thank you for breaking everything down, and definitely agree with you on the marketing subject. It has to be addressed ASAP before it gains too much competition. Mr. Sergio just touched on what I just commented on, so I won't bother going back into that. Thank you for watching the channel, Sergio. I'm going to start moving real quick now because I'm running over my time. I know you guys are busy, got things to do. Just trying to cover everybody. Candyman comment, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy others are fearful. I'm actually hoping Electroneum drop more. I'm a long-term investor. Good for you, Candyman. I think that's the best way to look at this. Brandon Carter, thank you, Brandon. I'm still here to the end. Same with me, Brandon. I'm here all the way to the end as well, till the lights go out. And I'm going to end it there, guys. I didn't want to go this long. But, guys, just want to thank you all for participating in the channel, commenting on the channel, watching the channel. As we go forward into the future, I want you guys to keep watching, because when Electroneum does pick up and go forward, a lot of our videos are going to be about these very positive things that Electroneum's doing. But when we're in the crapper like we are now, we got to talk this thing through, and we still got to deal with the circumstance. So, guys, that's all I want to say. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and until next time, take care.